Well, everybody knows, quote-unquote, the Christmas story. It's a story of a baby born in a feed trough, in a stable, in a small village called Bethlehem in the land of Israel 2,000 years ago. Everybody knows his name is Jesus. Everybody knows, who knows anything about Christian history, his mother is Mary, his father is Joseph. They all know the shepherds showed up, the wise men showed up. Those are the elements of the familiar story. But it's the story behind that story that is the real story. God, the creator of the universe, creates man, creates him without sin, puts him in a perfect environment in the garden. Man, meaning Adam and Eve, disobey God, fall into sin, catapult the whole human race into a cursed condition where everyone in the world is a sinner. Therefore, we all are rebels against God. We all are the enemies of God. We all violate the law of God. God is a just God and a holy God and must punish sin. God can either punish all sinners for their sin, and that would send all sinners to hell forever to pay really the unpayable penalty for their sin against him, or God can provide a substitute to bear the punishment for their sin. And God, out of love for sinners, deems that he will send his Son, God the Son, the second member of the Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Spirit, that the second member of the Trinity will become a man. And for the purpose of dying for men. He had to be a man in order to die for men. He had to be God also in order to bear infinite punishment in a brief moment of time. So God comes into the world, takes on the form of a man, lives a sinless life because he is holy God. In spite of that, he is executed as a criminal, which from a human standpoint is the worst thing that people could have done to him, but from the divine standpoint is the best thing that God could do, because God puts on him the punishment for all the sins of all the people who will ever believe through human history. God punishes Christ, who bears the total punishment for all who would believe through all of human history, which if each were to bear would take forever and they would never be able to pay it back. That's why hell is forever. But because he is an infinite person, he bears all of that for all those people who would ever believe in 3 days, fully satisfying the justice of God. God validates the sacrifice of Christ as being perfect by, not only did God say, "This is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased," but he raised him and seated him at his right hand because he had perfectly finished redemption. Christ then is at the right hand of God, exalted as Lord over all those who believe, having paid the penalty in full for their sins. And that's the real story of Christmas, not the shepherds and the wise men and the manger and the stable and 2 people and a little baby. That's on the surface. The real story is the story of a loving God and his divine redemption of sinners.